Yeah. Thank you, Nita. Nita also said to start recording. Okay.
Mhm.
So chapter 3 में he introduces the concept of यज्ञ. So हमारे चार वेद हैं, मैंने आपको बताया था, right?
नितिन
So,
ने भी था।
so the way the Veds are structured, each Ved has चार हिस्साs. There is Samhita, right? You don't have to remember, I'm just telling you. There is Samhita. Samhita is the collection of the mantras of the Ved. That is the main part of the Ved. देन देर इज ब्राह्मणास. ब्राह्मणास में वो बताते हैं कि यज्ञ कैसे करते हैं, यज्ञ जो करते हैं कितनी बड़ी फायर होनी चाहिए, हाउ व्हाट शुड बी द डायमेंशन ऑफ द पिट, व्हाट साइज द ब्रिक्स शुड बी. दे डिस्क्राइब द फ्लेम ऑफ द फायर, व्हाट कलर द फ्लेम शुड बी. Should it be a strong flame? Should it be a medium flame? Should it be a blue flame, yellow flame? They're very technical details. And how many priests are needed for each yajna? Priests be there. Some priests are experts in some Ved, in Rig Ved. Some priests are expert in Atharva Ved. So which Ved ke which priests are needed? And then they go to, after Brahmana, there is something called Aranyaka. Aranyaka is to do with meditations. And finally there is Upanishad. Upanishad is the fourth part of the Ved. And what we are learning when we talk about Vedanta, Vedanta means we are talking about the Upanishads. Vedanta and Upanishad is the same thing. So it's called Vedanta because it means Ved plus Ant. वेद का जो अंत है उसको कहते हैं वेदांता. सो वेद का अंत में क्या है? उपनिषद. सो उपनिषद के बारे में वेदांत होता है. नाउ now if you want to think very broadly, to generalize, you can think about the Vedas in two parts. One part is called the Karam Kand. And Karam Kand consists of the first three sections of the Ved. It consists of the Samhita, the Brahmanas, and the Aranyakas. That's the Karam Kand. Kand means sections. In Hindi, Kand means something else. in in Sanskrit, Kand means a section. Okay? So Karam Kand, and then there is Gyan Kand. Gyan Kand is the Upanishads. So Gyan Kand actually बहुत छोटा सा है. जो उपनिषद है, that is like maybe 10% of the Ved or even less, 5% of the Ved. The bulk of the Ved is Karam Kand because the Ved is full of these mantras. And each of these mantras is associated with yajna. So that is where yajna comes because ये जो हम मंत्र करते हैं ये यज्ञ के साथ करते हैं. जैसे शादियों में जो मंत्र होते हैं वो भी एक वेद में लिखे हुए हैं. तो वो शादियों में भी देन यू हैव टू डू अ हवन. उसमें जब पंडित जी विल टेल यू मेरे को इतना चाहिए, मेरे को इतना तेल चाहिए, इतना घी चाहिए, इतनी बड़ी फायर होनी चाहिए, द फायर शुड बी ऑफ दिस कलर, एंड यू नो these are the mantras and navels. So it's all very detail में it's been prescribed. So whether the pandit Jis today follow it or not is a different issue, but it's all written in the Ved. ठीक है? So so the yajnas come from the Karam Kand. In the Gyan Kand there is no yajna. In the Gyan Kand, which is the Upanishad, there is no yajna. It's only philosophy. It's only philosophy. आत्मा क्या है? आत्मा का स्वरूप क्या है? All these things which we have started talking about. You remember? हमने भी ये सारी बातें करनी शुरू कर दी हैं. चैप्टर 2 में उन्होंने कहा था कृष्ण भगवान ने कि ना तुम कभी मरोगे ना तुम जिए हो, यू वर नेवर बॉर्न, यू विल नेवर डाई, ऑल दीज थिंग्स, यू द आत्मा. सो दिस इज ऑल पार्ट ऑफ उपनिषद. दिस इज ऑल ज्ञान. But these four parts of the Ved correspond to how we grow in our life. So they say that in the first part of your life, the first ashram is brahmacharya. So in brahmacharya ashram, when you are young and you're a student, hi Meeta,
Hi.
welcome.
Sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. We are talking about chapter 3, so उसमें यज्ञ बहुत होते हैं. तो I was just introducing what Ved is. वेद से यज्ञ आते हैं.
Okay.
ठीक है? So um, so when we are young, when we are students, we are into brahmacharya ashram. उसमें we study all these Veds. हमारा शुरू से एंड तक समझ कुछ नहीं आता लेकिन हम रट लेते हैं, पढ़ लेते हैं सारा कुछ. हमको पता है कि क्या आने वाला है, क्या हो रहा है. मतलब पुरानी बातें हैं, ये अब की बात नहीं है. Then you get into grihasth ashram, you get married, When you get to Grihastha ashram, then you start with the initial part of the Ved, the Samhitas and the Brahmanas. That means you are required to do rituals when you are in the Grihastha ashram. Har roz, there are some rituals which are compulsory you have to do. They're called Nimitta Karanas, Nimitta Yagyas, Nimitta Karmas. So, like for example, they say you have to do Surya. There's some Surya Namaskar, some such ritual, Surya Pranam, which you have to do at dawn, at midday, and in the evening. And all rituals require a flame. They require fire. You can't have a ritual without fire. Okay. So those are compulsory rituals which have to be done. There are many others, and there are some rituals which have to be done on special occasions, like Shraddh and all that. We have to do those rituals when somebody elder passes. At marriage, you have to do other rituals. When a child is born, you got to do rituals. So these are all called compulsory rituals that have to be done duties. Then there's a second class of rituals which are called Kama Karma. That means these are rituals to fulfill desires. Very important rituals. So, for example, if you move to a new house and you want safety in the house, you're afraid, you want security, then you will do a particular ritual to a particular god. I mean, I don't know the details, which will be give me safety. I need safety. Or if you're starting a new venture, you want it to go well, you'll do another ritual. Or if you're saying, I don't, and there's a very famous ritual, I don't have children, I need a son or I need a daughter, then there's a ritual for that called Putra Kameshtu. You do that ritual and then you will
Oh,
have a son. If you don't have rains, you do a ritual for rains. So there are rituals like this for you can think of anything in your life, there are rituals for it. And all these rituals are there in the Ved. And the whole idea is that you have to do these rituals in the proper way, as prescribed in the Brahmanas, and then you will get a result. This sort of a ritual is called a yagna. And you can have a yagna as a duty, like the yagnas that you have to do. Like when I said Shraddh, for example, or Surya Namaskar, all these yagnas, you have to do them, like it or not. Those are prescribed, those are done as a duty. And then there are rituals you do if you want something in return. If you want a son or daughter, you'll do a ritual. If you want wealth, you'll do another ritual. You want health, you'll do another ritual. So these are the basically the two kinds of rituals. I mean, there are more kinds, but I'm just simplifying for us. Okay? And each ritual requires a yajna. So when Bhagwanji wrote this Gita, when he said the Gita, at that time everybody was familiar with yajna. They all knew what yajna is. They were doing yajnas all the time. So he could relate Karam Yoga to a yajna. And that's what he has done in chapter 3. But for us, we are not familiar. So we have to go through and understand, okay, first, what's a yajna? And why is he talking about a yajna when he's talking about Karam Yoga? Right? So that's why I'm giving you this background. Now, let's talk about a Kama Karma. That means a Kama means desire. And a Kama Karma means a ritual which is done in order to meet a particular desire. So let's just understand that. So let's say I want my new venture to be successful. I want some wealth. I think I'm not got enough. I need fame. Something I want. Okay. Then I become the yajamana. I am the person who is the person who needs something. I will approach a purohit. I will approach a pandit. मैं पंडित को कहूंगा मेरे को भाई ये कुछ चाहिए मुझे यज्ञ करने हैं. सो पंडित कहेगा आपके लिए ये यज्ञ ठीक है. ठीक है. एंड उसके लिए मैं आपको यज्ञ कराऊंगा. उसके लिए आपको 4 पंडित और चाहिए. एक अथर्ववेद से चाहिए, एक सोमवेद से चाहिए और एक इधर से ऐसे ऐसे करके 4 पंडित चाहिए. आपको एक हवन चाहिए विच शुड बी लाइक 2 फीट बाय 2 फीट का स्क्वायर मेड ऑफ 8 ब्रिक्स. उसमें फायर होनी चाहिए. एंड आपको आहुति आपको देने के लिए सैक्रिफाइस करने के लिए आपको ये चीजें देनी है. ये चीजें देनी है और आपको दान करना है. वेगन के साथ देयर इज ऑलवेज दान एसोसिएटेड. आपको 25 लोगों को घर में बुला के उनको खाना खिलाना पड़ेगा. आपको इस जगह पे ये दान करने पड़ेंगे. राइट. देन यू डू अ यज्ञ. So why you do all this is basically the fire is needed because fire is the devta, which is the communicator between me and the God. So for everything there's a God. There's a God who is connected with health. तो अगर मैं अपनी आंखों को कुछ करना है तो मैं आंखों के गॉड के पास जाऊंगा. I think that's Indra, but I don't know who it is. I don't know the details. But I can't approach that God directly. I have to approach it through fire. The fire god will take my message to the devta, concerned devta, give him the message and say कि इसने इतना सारा दान करा है, इसने आपकी पूजा करी है, इसने ये सैक्रिफाइस करा है और इसके रिटर्न में इसको हेल्थ चाहिए. So yagna is the Indian yagna, the traditional yagna is an exchange. It's an exchange where you say, I want something. In return, I will give something. And that's the concept of a yagna. It's a sacrifice. So people used to give a lot of things. आपने पुरानी कहानियां सुनी होंगी. Old kings and all, they used to donate 1,000 cows and whole villages. They used to donate to people because they wanted something really badly. So they believed in this yagna and they said, okay, we will donate it. We will have big pujas. They would have pujas which lasted 1 week, right? So all this is the concept of yagna, which is the way our society in the past used to approach life. To do things like this is a dharmic way to do things. Basically, what they're trying to instill in you, the intention is that in order to get something, you have to give something. And if you want something for yourself, you have to give something to others, to God and to others around you. And that is the dharmic way to ask for something or get something. It prevents you from being totally selfish, which is, मुझे ये चाहिए, I'll grab it, right? That kind of thing. So it seems very superstitious, and maybe it is also, but people believed it, and this is how life proceeded. It is always an exchange. Give something to get something.
That's something, right?
That is the concept of a yagna. So how, and I haven't gone there yet in 18th chapter. The Krishna Bhagwan talks about the factors of how success comes. What are the reasons for karma, for success? So the reasons are तुम्हारा अपना effort, your the state of your body and your health, your spirits, how well you do it, others. There are all these reasons. One of the big reasons is called daiva. Daiva means what we don't know, luck. That's what we call daiva. Again, two people make the same effort. One person succeeds, the other fails. But everything is the same. Why? Because there is a factor called daiva. We call it luck. हम कहते हैं वो बड़ा लकी था, ये अनलकी था. लेकिन हमारे वेद कहते हैं इट्स कॉल्ड दैवा. दैट मीन्स जो देवता लोग हैं उनका भी इस पे असर है. एंड जो देवता लोगों ने एक को करा एक को नहीं करा, वो क्यों? क्योंकि एक ने देवता की पूजा करी और दूसरे ने नहीं करी. तो ये जो यज्ञ है, दिस इज अ वे टू गेट दैवा. ओके. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying you have to believe it or that anything like that. I'm explaining to you how the system works because so that you can understand Gita. So people accumulate daiva by doing good things, by doing yajna. And this is not a bad thing. It's fine. Because daiva कैसे आता है? लोगों का हित करके आता है. You have to do दान, you have to feed people, you have to personally sacrifice, sometimes you have to make yourself humble. You have to go and लोगों को प्रणाम करना पड़ता है, लोगों के पैर छूने पड़ते हैं. These are all ways to make yourself more humble. These are all good things you're doing. You're doing it because you want something in return. That is true. But at least you're doing it, right? So this system is called the Yagna system. This is how life used to be. Any questions so far? Because now I'm going to go to the Gita after this. Did you understand the concept of Yagna?
Yes, yes.
It's an exchange. That is what a
Yeah.
Yagna is. I want
But why
something.
is it that in some yagnas, people are made to sacrifice animals?
Hmm. That's also true. And you know, that is a controversial topic in our Ved because most yagnas, most the big grand yagnas, there was animal sacrifice involved. I can't, I don't know what is the, people have given all kinds of explanations for it and all that. But uh, I mean, I just know that
Yeah,
it is
because I can't
there.
understand that at one point we worship cows, for example.
Right.
And फिर कई यज्ञ में उनकी बलि भी चढ़ाते हैं कि
हाँ,
भगवान
काउस की नहीं
देवता खुश
चढ़ाएंगे
होंगे.
यूजुअली, बट किसी एनिमल की चढ़ाते हैं, बट दैट इज ट्रू, आई एग्री विद यू.
Hmm.
सो गीता एक्चुअली डजंट बिलीव इन यज्ञास. What कर्म योगा जो गीता बता रहा है, see, so I was telling you ना, okay, sorry, I got stopped. I mean, I got diverted. See, first stage in life is brahmacharya, where we study everything. Second stage in life is grihastha, where we go through these yagnas. Because as a grihastha, we need to take care of our family. We need security. We need money. All these things we need. Therefore, we need daiva, right? We need daiva. We need God to be on our side so that all these things happen properly. That's why we do yagnas. So a lot of yagnas are done when we are in the grihastha stage, so that God is on our side. Selfish reasons, but it's done. Then, after our children have grown up, and हमारा जो कारोबार है बच्चों को हम सौंप देते हैं, they will take care. Now my job is done. You get into the third stage called Vanaprastha. So in Vanaprastha, you don't leave the house, but you give up the responsibilities of the house to the next generation. आपकी जो चाबी होती है ना, जो लगी होती है आपकी साड़ी के साथ, वो निकाल के आप अपनी बहू को दे देते हो कि अब तू संभाल घर, राइट? दैट इज वानप्रस्थ. और अगर मैं बिजनेसमैन हूं तो मैं अपना धंधा अपने बेटे को कहूंगा तू अब संभाल, अब मैं हो गया मेरे साथ. सो व्हाट एम आई टू डू? व्हाट आर यू टू डू आफ्टर हैविंग गिवन द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज? You are supposed to then now go to the third part of the Ved, which is the Aranyakas. Aranyakas means from the forest. That's what Aranyak
Jungle.
means. Jungle, right? So उसमें meditations लिखी हैं. So you are now preparing yourself through meditation for the next stage in your life, which is the sannyas stage. ठीक है? So you go through that part. So your rituals become different now. You are no longer interested in kama karmas. Right? Because you're no longer saying, I want money, I want this. All that your children will do. So your ritual, now you're asking God is, I want peace of mind. I want peace of mind so that I can get to the sannyas stage. I want detachment. And you slowly detach yourself, because you lived your life. ऊपर नीचे तुमको पता है, हर एक खुशी तुमने देख ली. तुमको पता चल गया कि खुशी के बाद दुख भी आता है, दुख के बाद फिर खुशी आती है. अगर मैं भगवान से कहता हूँ भगवान मुझे पैसा दो, भगवान पैसा दे देगा, इट डजंट मीन दैट ही हैज सॉल्व्ड माय प्रॉब्लम्स. पैसे के साथ और प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाएंगी. देन I'll ask God for those problems. So there's a never ending yagya going on. You're asking God for something or the other all the time. So then you now say, okay, now I'm in this stage. I want to be I want to be away from all this. I want to be detached. So you're in Vanaprastha stage. Okay? And you're preparing yourself for the final stage, which is sannyas. And the Vanaprastha के साथ क्या होता है? Aranyaka. That is the associated grantha in the Vedas for Vanaprastha. And sannyas के साथ क्या है associated? Upanishad. I told you ना the 4 parts of. So उपनिषद में जो philosophy है, उपनिषद में जो आत्मज्ञान के बारे में सब बताते हैं, that is supposed to be done ideally during sannyas. And what have you done by sannyas? By sannyas, you have gone through this mental purification that you needed, which was started in the phase of Vanaprastha. Because in Vanaprastha, you have given up associations with the world. You've kind of not given up completely, but you have lightened that load. You're focused in cleaning up your mind, getting ready for sannyas. जो कर्म योग है ना, जो हम कर्म योग गीता में कहते हैं, that is associated with Vanaprastha. That is why we are doing Karam Yoga. That is why you are all interested at this age. You may not realize it, you never have thought about it. But all of you, in some sense in your mind, feel, I have done my duties. Maybe there are some more to be done, but I have done them. I have given what I needed to give to people I love, to my children, to my elders. I have done my bit in this world. I want to now separate a little bit from all these parties and all this glamour and all these jewelries and all this, I want a little distance from them. All of us have this feeling. That is why we are doing what we are doing. Otherwise, why would you spend 1 hour every 2 weeks and also study on your own and do everything to study the Gita? इससे आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला, पैसा नहीं मिलने वाला इससे, right? But what you are hoping for is some shanti. And that is the stage in our life, which is Vanaprastha stage. So, so in Vanaprastha, we are talking about Karma Yoga. And Karma Yoga क्या करता है? जो गीता कहती है, it helps you get a better perspective of life. It helps you detach from the desires all the time and gives you some peace. Then you get ready for the last stage, which is sannyas. Sannyas doesn't mean that you have to go to the forest, not at all. Sannyas means you can be at home and be a sannyasi. Sannyas is a stage. It means you're very interested, deeply interested now in knowing the truth about yourself, knowing the truth about life. What is Atma? What is Brahman? What is God? What is this world all about? You have a very deep desire to know this. And your mind is not distracted anymore by worldly desires because you've gone through Vanaprastha. In that, you have already cleansed your mind. So that stage, so your mind is now ready for sannyas. So you learn, that's where Upanishads come to the fore. So right now, if I tell you, I can take you through Upanishads, you will not be very interested in Upanishads. आपको पता होगा, but you will say, no, ठीक है, that's all good, but I don't see how it is useful in my life. In my life right now, I want to control my desires. I want to control my mood. I want to be happy. I want to be calm. Because that's the stage we are all in. But once we have done this for a while, then your interest will start developing for the Upanishads, the Gyan. So this is how our Indian philosophy, the Indian system and Indian culture takes us through the stages, which are, हम ना भी अगर we can उनको believe करें या ना करें दूसरी बात है, लेकिन this is how it happens in most people's life. Some people, they never go past गृहस्थ. वो मरते दम तक वो गृहस्थ में ही है. वो उनको यही वरी है कि वो मेरे बैंक बैलेंस में क्या हो रहा है, मुझे यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, उसने मुझे ये कहा. मरते दम तक we are just concerned. That is also possible. But then we go through those people will go through Vanaprastha in their next life. It's a chain. It doesn't all have to happen in one lifetime. Right? But my guess is that for all of us, we are either at the beginning of the Vanaprastha stage or in the middle of the Vanaprastha stage. And that is why we are interested in these things. But eventually we will, maybe in this life or next life or whenever, we will go through the sannyas stage too. And once you've gone through the sannyas stage, you achieve what is called moksha. Okay, that's the sequence. So to get back to Meeta's question, yes, sacrifice happens, and in the Ved, there is animal sacrifice. I don't know what is the justification behind it. There must be, these are all dependent on the times. उन ज़माने में लोगों की thinking may be different, right? Now our thinking is much more modern and liberal. For us now, animals are, very important. Any life is important life. हम कहते हैं, why should animals suffer? In fact, for many people, and they can literally feel the angst of animals. मेरी जो गुरु है, जो Carol है, she doesn't have children, but she has cats and dogs, and she treats them like her children. So now times have changed. But those times may be different. But the main point is that when we come to Vanaprastha and when we go to sannyas, these rituals don't mean anything. We have gone past these rituals. Because rituals are driven by desire. If you have a desire for something, then you'll do the ritual to get that thing. Right? There are some rituals which are duty rituals. Yes, those you have to do in Vanaprastha. In sannyas, you don't even have to do the duty rituals. You don't have to do the puja in the morning, afternoon, and evening. वो भी नहीं करनी पड़ती at sannyas. But during vanaprastha, you have to do the duty rituals. So आपने सुना होगा निष्काम कर्मा. Nishkam karma means karma without kama. Kama karma is what I told you, a ritual where you want something, you're asking for something. Nishkama karma means the same
Without
ritual done
desire.
without desire, right? So in Vanaprastha, the prescription is Nishkama karma because that will clean up our mind. It will help us. We'll do the work, we'll do everything, but we are not going to get more bound into the world by desires. So that is also called Karma Yoga. ठीक है? Any more questions on yajna?
Nitu, I want to ask you,
Hmm.
does the sannyas ashram, if you do everything according to what you're supposed to do, you do not get moksha, you are reborn again and again.
It
Not
depends, Didi.
everybody.
It depends.
So not many people get moksha.
That's true.
Very few get moksha. Otherwise, you are reborn again. And I do not know. Some people say you instantly reborn. Some people get reborn after a long time.
See, you have to understand, आपको जो time है ना, this time for us is different. For a person who's gone, it's different. आपको मैं बताता हूँ, आप let's say मैं कल सो गया, ठीक है, और आप देख रहे हो नीटू सो रहा है, आपने कहा माय गॉड ये तो 10 घंटे सो गया, तो आपके लिए 10 घंटे बीत गए, पर मैं तो डीप स्लीप में था, मेरे लिए कितना टाइम बीता?
Just few
Instant.
hours.
I went to bed right now and I woke up. मैं कहूँगा अभी तो सोया था. And look at my watch. It's 10 hours have gone. Right? So time is only there when there is duality. हम लोग जो हैं हम time and space में करे हुए हैं. Death is like a deep sleep. इतना time बीता has no meaning. Right? It's deep sleep. It's the deepest possible sleep. आपके लिए बरसों बीत गए होंगे. मेरे लिए क्या पता, right? कुछ नहीं बीता. Actually, death is like deep sleep, and this Jivan is like a swapna, is a sapna. That is what our Upanishads tell us. हम सपने में हैं. जैसे आप जब आप जागते हो, ठीक है, अभी आपके लिए तो आप जागे हुए हो, जब आप सो जाओगे तो आपको नींद आती है, तो सपना आता है. सपने में द होल वर्ल्ड इज न्यू. It's got its own time. सपने में months can pass, whereas your सपना may have lasted only 5 minutes. लेकिन जब आप सपने में हो आपको लगेगा कि महीने चले गए हैं. आपको लगेगा आप इंडिया से अमेरिका पहुंच गए हो. स्पेस ऑल्सो डजंट मीन एनीथिंग. आपको लगेगा आप ही बदल गए हो. तेरा सपना हैज इट्स ओन स्पेस एंड टाइम, राइट? बट यू वेक अप एंड यू रियलाइज वो तो सपना था. सो इन दैट वे we are also in a sapna. हमारे लिए all these time and everything is all there. But once we are dead, this is just a sapna. This was just a sapna. That's exactly what our Upanishads say.
Yes.
Then you'll wake up again and have another sapna, and आपको लगेगा वही जीवन है बस. सपने में आपको ये तो नहीं पता चलता ना कि मैं सपने में हूँ. सपने में तो आपको लगता है यही जीवन है.
Yes.
Right? But actually वो सपना है. So these things about अगर आप गृहस्थ आश्रम में ये क्वेश्चन पूछोगे कि मोक्ष क्या है, जो गृहस्थ आश्रम का आदमी है उसको ये बातों में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. वो कहेगा मुझे पता है नेक्स्ट जन्म में मैं जीऊंगा कि नहीं जीऊंगा, मेरा जीवन अच्छा होगा कि बुरा होगा. उसके लिए हम कहेंगे, उसको शांत करने के लिए हम कहेंगे अरे कर्मा का लॉ ऑफ कर्मा है, अच्छे काम करो अच्छा रिजल्ट मिलेगा, मोक्ष मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा तो वापस आओगे. बिकॉज ही डजंट हैव एनी थिंकिंग अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. हिज माइंड इज कंज्यूम्ड और हर माइंड इज ओनली कंज्यूम्ड विद मनी एंड डिजायर्स. बट वी आर नॉट. वी आर नॉ वानप्रस्थ. So the instruction that Bhagavan Krishna now gives us is not the same that he will give to a person who is immature in these matters and just worried about the world, and उसको तो अपनी शांति चाहिए. उसका क्या इंटरेस्ट है? मुझे बस शांति मिल जाए. अगर मैं मर जाऊं तो उसके बाद मुझे अच्छा जीवन मिल जाए, मुझे यही इंटरेस्ट है. दैट्स अ वेरी सेल्फिश लिटिल इंटरेस्ट, राइट? दैट्स ऑल वी केयर अबाउट एट दैट टाइम.
mm,
But now we have to go away from that and
mm,
start seeing things as they are, right? लॉ ऑफ
yeah,
कर्मा जो है, लॉ ऑफ कर्मा, व्हेन वी आर यंग, हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी होता है. अरे अच्छे कर्म, मुझे अच्छा, व्हाई डू आई वांट टू डू अच्छे कर्म? बिकॉज मुझे अगले जन्म में अच्छा फल चाहिए. दैट्स द ओनली रीजन वी डू अच्छे कर्म व्हेन वी आर यंग,
mm,
राइट?
yes.
इट्स अ वेरी सेल्फिश रीजन.
Mm,
मैंने अच्छे कर्म करे, मैं करूंगी. अगर अच्छे कर्म में इस हमको नॉट ओनली नेक्स्ट मंथ, हमको इसी इसी जन्म में उसका फल चाहिए. अगर मैंने अच्छे कर्म करे, मुझे अच्छे फल नहीं मिले, आई गेट वेरी एंग्री. यू नो व्हाट द हेल, आई डिड ऑल द गुड कर्म्स, आई डिडंट गेट अ गुड रिजल्ट, राइट? इट्स
mm,
दैट इज हाउ वी थिंक.
yes.
But if you think about it, this is a very, it's all you are, you're just kind of, basically you're in a never ending wheel. You do a
Mm,
good calm, then you get a good result. That good thing will last for some time. Then you're back in not having good. Then you will do another good karam. Then you will last for some time. It's a never-ending wheel. We don't
mm,
think like that because we are so consumed in the world. We
mm,
cannot detach ourselves and think. But now, Vanaprastha means you detach yourself and think. Is that what you want? Do you just want a good result, which is a temporary result? You'll do a lot of karmas for it, then you'll get a good result. Then that result will be over. Then again you're back in neutral territory. Then again you want a good result. Then you do something bad and you get a bad result. Is this what you want your life to be? Is this all you want in your life? कि अच्छे
yeah.
कर्म करो, अच्छा रिजल्ट, फिर बुरे काम. You get tired of even the good results.
Mm.
Correct? So that's what it means to move from grihast to vanaprastha. Then you know, say, this law of karma doesn't do anything for me. I want to understand better. I want to understand what really gives me happiness. Because I find the law of karma doesn't give me happiness. It gives me temporary happiness, and then I have to do more karmas, and then more karmas, right? So I want to know what is really giving me happiness. And for that, Bhagwanji is saying, first, step back from the world. Try to understand, see this world objectively. See what is actually happening. That is the purpose of, that is what is called cleansing the mind, developing some objectivity in the mind, seeing what is going on. And that's the purpose of Vanaprastha. Then you do sannyas. Then sannyas, then he tells you. He tells you how this is happening, why you have desires. The reason that you have desires is because you think you're not complete right now. You think you're missing something. That is why you have desires. That is your root cause of suffering because you think you're inadequate. The world has been telling you you're inadequate in many ways. Our parents, they love us, but they are insecure themselves. So they say to us also, they make us also insecure. वो कहते हैं नहीं नहीं अच्छे काम करो, तुमको पैसा बनाना है, अगर तू काम नहीं करेगी तो तू कैसे करेगा, तेरे से कोई शादी नहीं करेगा. Right? Or something like that. Right? This is a subliminal message which we are getting from the world. And it just builds on our own insecurities. And we keep thinking, we are not enough, we are not enough, we are not enough. And what self-knowledge means is, Bhagwan tells you, it's not just a matter of thought. Actually, you're whole. Actually, you're nothing different from God. Right? Once you internalize that message, then you get peace. Because you are happy then right here and now. Then this moksha also doesn't matter. मुझे बाद में मोक्ष मिलेगा, मुझे नहीं, उससे बाद का मोक्ष नहीं चाहिए. मुझे अभी पता चलना चाहिए अभी क्या हो रहा है मेरे लिए. And you are happy right here and now, regardless of your condition, regardless of your situation, regardless of circumstances. That is called moksha. This is a new definition of moksha, different from the definition for a grihast. गृहस्थ को ये बातें
Yes,
नहीं समझ
yes.
आती. तो गृहस्थ को हम कहेंगे
Mm,
तेरा जन्म नहीं होगा दोबारा. लेकिन
mm,
हमको समझना है कि मोक्ष का मतलब ये नहीं है कि बाद में जन्म होगा या नहीं होगा. मोक्ष का
mm,
मतलब है, हाउ कैन आई बी फ्री एंड कंप्लीट एंड हैप्पी राइट नाउ एट दिस
yes.
मोमेंट, एंड देयर इज नो
Yeah.
रीजन व्हाई वी कांट बी. Right?
Mm,
So this is how our evolution happens. And you'll see
mm,
this in the Gita as Bhagwan Krishna keeps talking about it.
mm,
But right now in chapter 3, just to get back to chapter 3, right now in
mm,
chapter 3, what he's saying is that one way to think about Karma Yoga is to think about it from yagnas. Karma Yoga is equal to doing a yagna without asking for anything in return. That is Karma Yoga. अभी तक हम यज्ञ क्यों करते हैं? भगवान की पूजा करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, क्यों करते हैं? ताकि हमको कुछ वापस मिले. लेकिन कर्म योग में you do the work, you do the yagna, you do the puja, you do everything, you do the good for the world. Yagna is associated with all दान करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, सब कुछ करो. दान करो, सैक्रिफाइस करो, पूजा करो, कर्म करो, सब करो. लेकिन what you want in return is not what you wanted from in the past. पुराने जमाने में आप ये सब करते थे ताकि तुमको कुछ वापस मिले. अब तुमको सिर्फ एक चीज चाहिए, मन की शुद्धि. यू टेल गॉड मैं सब कुछ करूंगी, सब कुछ करूंगा, लेकिन मुझे मन की शुद्धि चाहिए. एंड दैट इज हाउ यू गेट मन की शुद्धि. नॉट बाय स्टॉपिंग टू डू थिंग्स, नॉट बाय सेइंग मैं तो कुछ नहीं करूंगी. देन you get all crazy in the mind. You live your life, do your duties, do everything, but keep remembering this fact that now, after having tried everything, after having got all the wealth and got it, lost it, then got it again, then lost it again, after having done all of that, now I want Man Ki Shuddhi. So you continue doing your work, your duties, but with that goal. So it's like saying, मैं यज्ञ करूंगा, करते रहूंगा या करती रहूंगी, लेकिन not with a karma in mind, not with a desire, but nishkam karma, with only one desire, which is I want to be purified. So that is another way to look at Karma Yoga. ठीक है?
Yes.
नींद तो नहीं आ रही आपको?
नहीं नहीं.
अभी ठीक है? पूरे सवा दस हो गए ना आपके?
हाँ, बस it's till 11 everybody mostly keeps awake.
अच्छा. Anyway, so any question? I don't want to go too much because I want to make sure that we follow. These are important concepts, all the things
Yes.
I said. So we just want to make sure we understand them.
Yes, this तो we have no निष्काम कर्म करने का.
But क्यों करना है निष्काम कर्म? Not because Gita says. Not that is
नहीं
not the
नहीं,
reason.
just
To
for
get
your
peace
own
for
peace
yourself.
of mind.
To
Yes,
get a peace
own
of
peace
mind.
of mind.
Little bit more peace of mind than you have right now.
Yes.
This is also a selfish reason. Of course, everything is selfish only, but it's a enlightened selfishness, little more evolved selfishness.
चल.
But नीतू, जब तक कर्मों का सिलसिला नहीं खत्म होगा,
हाँ.
तब तक तो मोक्ष नहीं मिल सकता ना.
That's actually a very good point. ठीक है? And I will explain to you कि कर्मों का सिलसिला का मतलब क्या है. ठीक है? This is the main teaching of the Gita, actually. जो आप बता रहे हो ना. See, कर्मों का सिलसिला is not the silsila of the karam itself. It's the silsila of the karam phal. So हम कहते हैं कि जो कर्म होते हैं ना, they bind us. It's not the karam that bind. It's the desire which is behind the karam. That's what binds.
Exactly.
Correct? So आप कर्मों का सिलसिला, भगवान कहते हैं कर्मों का सिलसिला मत खत्म करो. Because कर्मों का सिलसिला तो कभी खत्म ही नहीं हो सकता. If you have to live in this world, you have to do कर्म. उनमें गीता में कहते हैं, भगवान जी ने कहा है आगे in a future chapter, he said, आप कह रहे हो कर्म नहीं करोगे अर्जुन, can you stop breathing? Can you even stop blinking your eyes? Can you stop eating? Right? What are you talking about? I won't do karam. You're doing karam whether you like it or not. You have to do karam.
Yes.
So he says not only that, not only should you not stop doing karam, you should do a lot of karam. Karam yoga means not be lazy. Correct? That means do a lot of karam. Find a purpose in your life and go after it. That will give you happiness. That is not a bandhan. Correct? So, because that is not a karma ka silsila. The problem happens when we do things with expectation. Let's say, मेरी बहू आएगी कल. एंड मैं उसको बहुत प्यार करूंगा, बहुत अच्छी है, बहुत अच्छी है। आई
हम्म,
डू इट विद एन एक्सपेक्टेशन कि वो मुझे बहुत आदर सम्मान करेगी, राइट?
हम्म,
दैट इज कर्म का सिलसिला। Because while doing
हम्म,
that kind of a karam is going to get me roped in to the world more. Because कल को अगर उसने ना करा आदब सत्कार, देन मेरे मन में और शुरू हो जाएगा, ये क्या हो रहा है,
हम्म,
इसका कैसी लड़की है, राइट?
हम्म,
But if I respect a person, because every human being deserves respect, and I do things for others because they all deserve respect, that is not karmo ka silsila. Because I don't, then that other person, first of all, the other person also understands that this person is well meaning, so they will respect you. That is one thing. But let's say that the other person doesn't even respect you. It doesn't concern you then. Because you're not, it doesn't bother you, it doesn't shake you. You're doing it because that's the right thing to do, right? I want to sleep well at night. That's why I want to do the right thing. Correct?
Yes.
I feel, for example,
हम्म,
honestly, I feel मेरे को जब मैंने ये गीता और वेदांत पढ़ी, मेरे को मेरे गुरुजी ने और लोगों ने बहुत, like, without asking for anything, they gave me a lot of knowledge. They patiently listened to me. They patiently answered my questions. And this is such wonderful knowledge. For a little bit of a degree here and there, colleges charge 50, $60,000. And this kind of knowledge is given free. So मुझे
Mm.
लगा the right thing to do is to share this, right?
Yes, yes,
I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I'm trying to. I mean, I don't know whether I'll be successful or not. That's a different issue. But I'm trying to do
yes,
it because I think this is the right thing to do. Now,
yes,
if I do it with this attitude, कल को all half of you say ये तो useless था, मैं तो जा रही हूँ, मैंने नहीं attend करनी, this is a waste of time. I'm not going to be
yes,
shattered because I did it not because I want respect. I did it because I felt I should do it. But if I'd
yes.
done it for something I want in return, like I want money from you guys, I want to charge you money, and and then tomorrow you say नहीं ये बेकार है, then I will get all upset that hey, I wanted money, I didn't get my money, right? So so that is so karam ka silsila means the silsila connected with the karam phal, the results of your
हम्म,
karam.
okay.
In
हम्म,
fact, what happens is, this is another thing about Geet Karam Yoga. What happens is when you're thinking too much about the karam phal, you don't do a lot of karam. हम
Mm.
सड़ते कुटते रहते हैं, काम नहीं करते. Whereas when we are not thinking about too much about the karam phal, we do a lot of karam because there's
Yes,
nothing stopping us. Our ego is
yes,
not in the way. The world is not in the way. Nothing is in the way. We just all we do is we just want to work. We
Mm.
want to do a good job. And the beauty of it is, Bhagwan Krishna says that by doing that karam, by doing it like this, without always thinking about expectation, the person who's going to get happiest is you.
yes,
So
yes.
that kind of a peace
हम्म,
which you get by
Mm.
doing this karam without expectation is much more durable than the happiness that you
Yes,
get by getting some result. Because
Mm.
the happiness from results is temporary. This is the key
Yes,
thing we have to find in our life. You would have
हम्म,
found it. When you were a little child, success would have meant मेरे को इतना मिल जाए. लेकिन इतना मिल गया, then you want more, then you want, because the happiness you get from uh, results is very temporary. You'll be
yes,
happy for some time and then you will want more, but not the happiness that you get by nishkam karma. That
yes,
happiness is coming from within you. It's
yes,
coming because your mind is becoming cleaner. Your guilt is going away. Your bad feelings are going away. Your happiness with yourself, your respect for yourself is increasing. These things are permanent, and they stop the fluctuations of the mind, the ripples in our mind. They make our mind steady. They make our mind stable. That is what Antakarna Shuddhi means. That is what the purpose of Karam Yoga is. To give us happiness and for us to understand that our happiness actually comes from within us. It is not coming from outside. The
हम्म,
happiness from outside is
yes,
very temporary.
yes,
So it's a very selfish reason. You'll get you by doing like this, you will get something. which is for you, your sake, happiness for your sake.
Mm.
So that's Karam Yoga. Okay, you do Karam. Don't stay away from Karam. Do a lot of Karam, but do them with the right attitude. Do them for the right reason,
Yes.
right? Do you understand, Bhavi?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, don't you guys think that if you look back in your life, don't you think that these are true statements? You can all look at experiences in your life and don't they ring true?
Definitely,
Yes.
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 Huh? I mean, for me, they absolutely ring true. I mean, I look at everything because we've all been through that phases in our life when we've been insecure, when we've been, selfish or whatever. It's normal. We don't have to say
Yes.
that we were bad. It's normal.
Mm.
We were just
Yes.
young. We were just immature,
Yes.
right? We have to
Yes.
learn. Everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yes. It's very true.
Charu, you've been very quiet. You're in some thought. I can see you're thinking.
Yeah, I've been thinking, I think, listening to what you're saying.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Hmm?
Mm.
It's not I am not saying, by the way. It's Gita. So you can have your arguments with the Gita. I'm just
I
repeating.
think everything changes with time or your circumstances.
Hmm.
You do different types of karam according to the phases you are passing through.
Right. True.
And
I
your
mean, I would say
thinking
that
also changes.
not with time, but with knowledge, I think. Some people get the knowledge or that understanding little soon, early.
Yes.
Some take longer, but yeah,
Yeah.
over time it comes to everybody.
No,
Yes.
because see,
Basically,
now the requirements are less, we can think in that direction. When we were younger, our requirements were different. So our type of karam were different. I feel that.
right.
I mean, you
But
cannot be doing karam.
but remember that it's not that our requirements are less because
No, our requirements right now are different than what they
yeah,
were
no. What I was trying to say
earlier.
was I was just trying to say that our desires are less. Our desires are different. Or you can say
That
requirements. Yeah,
you
it's the
can
same
say.
thing. Requirements or desires. Same thing, right?
No, I wouldn't say they were the same. I would not couple the two. The
Okay.
requirements are requirements, desires are desires.
Okay.
Desires are above requirements.
Hmm.
Once your requirements are fulfilled, then you move towards desires.
Hmm.
So then, obviously, the phases change, no? So
Right.
your circumstances changes.
Correct.
I mean, at certain stages, you don't even think of something but your requirements to be fulfilled. And that is how you do your karma.
Correct. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Also, the
So at this
understanding.
stage, if you look, most of us are senior citizens. Most of us.
Yeah, that's
So our
Mhm.
thinkings have also changed.
Hmm.
And now
Yes.
I mean, I'm not talking about you in particular, but now we can talk big. कि हमको ये करना चाहिए, हमको वो करना चाहिए. From the beginning, the tuning was not there.
The understanding and interest is also not there at a younger age, I feel.
Yeah, that's right.
It only comes with the maturity and
With
age that you-
experience and with time. That experience teaches you ना कि अभी ये सब करके हमको क्या मिला. Now let's move ahead.
Right.
It's like that.
Exactly. That is exactly right. I mean, we have to go through the ups and downs of life in order to come to this stage where we say, okay, we want something more. That's why the Grihastha ashram, everybody has to go through.
Yes.
Some people don't. Some people go from brahmacharya to sannyas directly. And there they say that, they've done all the things in their previous life. It's like,
और उनको सुनने को क्या मिलता है? He is not interested in the house affairs. वो तो ये तो अजीब तरह का योगी है. उसको तो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, वो भी सुनने को मिलता है
Correct.
when you
But
don't
I
do
don't think
those
those
types
people
of
care
things.
too much. हम क्या सुना रहे हैं उनको? It doesn't bother them
नहीं,
too
वो
much.
नहीं bother करते ना, that is why they are on
We are the
that
ones
path.
who bother. They don't
Yes,
bother.
we are the ones who bother about us also and others also.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
You're not born with those experiences, no? So with time you inculcate them.
So I was going to ask Upma, I don't know whether she's still there, but this was her first lesson. Upma, are you there?
Yes,
I can't hear you,
Okay,
Nittu.
you're there. Okay.
I'm still there
Okay.
and enjoying the talk very much. Yes.
Okay. I hope it didn't because this is Adi, you have no background, at least that I know of. So this may have not been all easy to understand. But
I know
anyway,
I have been attending lots of Gita lectures earlier,
okay.
and recently also I've been going to Chinmaya Mission. They are talking about the
Yeah.
18th chapter now.
Okay. Oh, nice.
But yes, yours, of course, is very refreshing, and I am quite enjoying
No,
it.
it's okay.
Yes.
I was
Nittu, I can't hear you.
I'm glad that you you've been going to Gita lessons, so it's nothing new for you actually in a way.
Yeah,
You
but
can
the
understand.
understanding is always different.
Every time you listen, you learn a little bit more, right?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
that's true. Chalo, should we call it a day or night? Huh?
Yes.
Shall we
Good morning and good night.
resolve to meet in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. It
Okay.
was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you,
Good
Nittu.
night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.